So this is our week of rivers French Broad 9 run. The day started out a little different. We had a bunch of rain the night before and thought we might be able to get in a Oconaluftee run. So we drove through Cherokee and scouted that out. It looked like the water was up, but when we got to the bridge to put in, it was rising, but hadn't gotten up to the level quite yet that we would have liked. So from there, we went through quite a bit of rain all the way to the Big Laurel, and the levels looked really good. However, with the crew we had left there, no one had run it before, and we just really didn't want to take a chance on it. We knew the levels were good, but rising. And that's not always great if you don't know how far they're rising and you don't know the river real well. So we ventured on to, which of course is very close by, I went to French Broad Section 9. I thought the water might be on the rise. It was not. It was a pretty low day, but as those who have paddled French Broad know, I mean, it's runnable at almost any level. So we decided to take that on. We were already there. We'd already sunk a good bit of time of our day into just scouting other rivers, and so we gave it a go. And so this is our trek through that. It was a fun day and a little bit eventful at the end.
The only one properly dressed for the day.
What do you say?
The only one properly dressed for the day. It feels wonderful. Hot,
I'm comfortable.
I'm very comfortable.
stubborn. Steve's honest, he's like, oh, we're going to be stopping.
I'm stubborn and comfortable.
Not in this water.
This water is way warmer than I thought it would be. So as you can tell there, it just speaks to we didn't really know what to expect that day. Most of us came wearing dry tops or splash tops, expecting a cool day because it started out cool with rain. And Pete's just making a comment there that we're all overdressed and that we're stubborn. And I think both were true. I did stay in my paddle jacket for the rest of the day. I got plenty of opportunity to practice my roll and cool off. Although the water was warm, as Pete did mention there, which is a little surprising for this being a mountain river, but it was noticeably warm, not just not cold. Yeah. While that was a very small ledge, small booth, I had been working on engaging my core and doing more of a proper booth stroke, keeping the bow high up out of the water, and just practicing that. It's been a joke since last year, I guess. Teleco, Baby Falls, worst booth stroke ever. I penciled in to Baby Falls, and it's no problem there because it's pretty deep. So I'd spent the year kind of focusing on that when I got the chance at the Whitewater Center, even though it's not a true booth. Any kind of waves I went into, I focused on getting my bow up and over the waves, just working on that body control. And you'll see we go by Turtle Rock here, but as I was saying, I was excited to get to Surprise Ledge and Kayakers Ledge and just really see if my boost stroke had improved any or my timing's still off. And you'll see when we get there, kind of mixed results. I think overall I'm doing better, but really trying to focus on that aspect of my paddling. It's that Z-axis that I don't practice using enough, and just in the kind of white water that I'm in, I don't get a chance to do boofs off of 5 and 6 foot ledges that often. So it was nice to get out on this river, and I was looking forward to tackling that.
Go right through that little lane.
All right.
I think this was just after we had met up with some of the Carolina Canoe Club that was coming down on their Week of Rivers trip. Pete had pointed me over to this kind of alternative line. I think there was another little ledge or ledge hole I could work on over here and take some of the pressure off that main part. I don't really know my French Broad 9 rapid names that well, and so I dare not try to name this one here. In saying that, I believe this is S-turn. I just followed Alan down through here. I am not 100% sure about that rapid name, so you French Broad 9 purists that get on it a good bit more and know these actual rapid names, apologize if I messed that up, but I believe that's S-turn. So just follow Alan through here. You know, I did end up taking my RMX on this day. I wasn't real sure what we'd end up doing. I kind of thought we might end up on the Nolichucky. I didn't even mention that at the beginning of this video, but that we had our eyes on that to begin with. Looked at the Oconaluftee. This would have been a big boat for that one, but it would have worked. But if I'd have known we were going to be on this river on this day at this level, I would have preferred bringing my Wrapup. But it's not a big deal. I still had a fun day.
It's great seeing you guys.
Yeah. See ya.
So you'll see me telling Marshall bye there. We actually picked up 2 other paddlers here.
How y'all doing?
You're on camera, don't do anything crazy.
What's your names?
Josh.
Josh and
Lodum.
Lodum.
Totem with an L.
Okay. Lodum and Josh. Gotcha.
Now, I can't remember if they had actually been on this section before. I believe neither one had been between Stackhouse and Hot Springs. So, they were with a big CCC crew, and they were making down just fine with them. But we decided they decided to peel off and go with us and see those extra couple of rapids at the end, Frank Bell's and the Kayakers Ledge. So anyway, you see us going through Sandy Bottom here. We actually didn't spend much time here. Normally we would spend a good bit of time. We'd actually surf the wave there. I think each one of us makes one pass at it, and it can be a good one at higher levels. But we had, I think, a time to make. We wanted to get them through those extra 3 or 4 miles in time and about with when their whole crew finished. So there were some spots we didn't stop like we may have before, and it was okay. The wave really wasn't that in. And again, I'm not great with rapid names on this section of river, but I believe some parts of this are what's known as ledges. The other thing you notice is the sun's out now, so those gray skies and muddy water kind of turned to green trees and blue skies, and just a beautiful day to be on the river. I'm always taken aback by rivers like this. You feel like you're, and you actually are, you're up in the mountains. up with the mountains on this river. The French Broad's like this. The New River, certainly the parts of it that I've done, the South Fork, the North Fork, are that way up here. There's a lot of rivers we do that are more gorge-like and feel a little more constricted. This one, as the name implies, is broad, but you just feel like you're floating between soft, gentle, rolling hills here. So just really enjoyed the day. Did not expect a beautiful blue sky on this day, but it was really nice. And here we enter pinball. I think it's only the second, maybe third time I've done pinball. Most of the times I've done pit stop, or what I'd heard it called as fire escape, but it's another little route around the side of the mountain there that it has one kind of ledge that you can boof or run through instead of pinballing or plinkoing your way down through here. I think the last time I ended up upside down at the very bottom of this thing, rolled up, but it's a fun little rapid, and I'd love to see a little more water on it.
Is this Rebar Rapid?
This is Stackhouse.
As you heard me say there, this is what they call Rebar Rapid, and the rebar was definitely in play today. The rebar is really thick. It looks like it's like 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. And I guess some levels maybe it's not in play, but I don't think anyone takes a chance on it. They usually
Yeah, you can
head
see
pretty
the
far
rebar
left.
today.
You see
see the
Steve
rebar
waving
today.
Marcus to get back over this direction. Um, Interesting enough, I think the rebar was probably high enough. You would have seen it and been able to go around it, but that would do some pretty nasty damage to your boat if you weren't paying attention. So most people just go around Rebar Rapid on the left-hand side there. It's notable because it's just before the Stackhouse takeout, which you can see straight ahead there. Of course, we didn't take out there on this particular day, but just ran the rapids right there at it and just beyond it, which are a little fun.
That's a wafer. Okay. Were you trying?
And I know I mentioned it before, but right there at Stackhouse, just before the takeout and just after it as you go around the bend, there's a number of fun rapids there. And I can imagine with even more water, there's even more to do. But just some fun read and run, nothing to really get you in trouble at all. But just some fun little technical stuff. So that leads you pretty much right into the Windy Flats, which are coming up next. That is gorgeous, folks. Windy Flats. Sometimes the Windy Flats get kind of a bum rap. I think even some of the guidebooks say it's like 4 miles of flat water before you get to Frank Bell's and Kayakers Ledge. It's actually only like 1.5 miles, and it's not really all that flat. On this day, I think the water level was 1,100 to 1,200. Now, we did pick up some additional water coming down, or coming from the Big Laurel, but we had a little scraping, but it wasn't bad, and it's a gorgeous section of river. So I highly recommend anyone whose paddling skills are, able to do class 3 rapids, go check out Kayakers Ledge and Frank Bell's. It's totally worth the extra paddle. Now there is an additional maybe 3/4 of a mile after Frank Bell's. Some of that is fairly flat, but again, you get to hit Surprise Ledge, and then you're in Hot Springs with some great food at the takeout. So I think it adds about 3.5 miles, maybe 4 miles to the overall trip. Um, but it's totally worth doing. You see us coming up here to Kayakers Ledge. This is kind of the entrance. I actually missed my little turn there I meant to hit. See Marcus make it through there, but I missed it and had to go around and miss it. I think Pete laughs at me a little bit here. But yeah, next is Kayakers Ledge. Pretty simple ledge here. See several folks going off of it. This is always one of my favorite little parts here. Little ferry just below the ledge, and then this little kind of whip around rapid. I think it's all considered part of Kayakers Ledge, but uh, I do like this little rapid here.
And then I'm going to be nearby and then probably hold off last minute.
So you hear Pete giving everybody instructions here. Alan's going to run lead. I'm going to be behind him. Really, the goal here was to show the guys who were showing down, show them the line. So they were supposed to follow Alan and I. And what transpired was not really helpful for them. So I'll just let you watch here, but I guess that'll teach Pete to have us lead anyone down this rapid again. So I should have been a little bit further right, and I missed a right stroke also. And so this is what happens. Never should have happened. So at this moment, you're really thinking, you know what? I've been here before. I've got a good roll. I'll just roll up, see where I'm at. I'm sure I've still got plenty of time to line up for Frank Bell's, and I'll just finish up. It's just part of paddling, part of dealing with it. So let me just roll up. Awesome. I rolled up, or maybe not. I guess we'll find out in a second. But at this moment, I am kind of starting to think about looking for Frank Bell's. So I actually put in slow motion here, about 25%, so you can feel what I felt. But yes, I missed my roll. I carped it or something just as bad. Not sure. But I was thinking, do I swim? Nah. I actually felt the top hole come by, the top hole of Frank Bell's. And so I made a mental map, and I was like, well, that means the second hole has to be coming by pretty soon. So I felt the second hole, gave it a second, and I was like, well, I've got to be at the bottom. It's boily, but let me just give it a go. So I rolled up and was excited to find Alan. So I should have more faith in Alan, but when I came up, I was really just kind of looking for him. I saw his boat upside down. I figured he'd been like that a while. And so I was just really looking around to see if he swam or see where he might be. And that's really what I'm doing looking back. I give him just a minute and he's setting up for a roll and he rolls right up.
I did the whole thing upside down. Huh?
As we're exchanging stories, you'll see the rest of them finish up P5. The two boaters we picked up, Josh and Lodum, Marcus and Steve, and then Pete. And so see Pete, he's kind of wrestling here with the rapids a bit. So what ended up happening is two lead boaters, so I did most of it upside down. think Alan flipped at the very end, rolled back up, and then Pete got a little disoriented and I think got the holes a little bit out of order. Of course, he battled through it, did fine, but I'm not sure it was an all-inspiring experience for the new folks we let down, but it sure was fun. And so what transpired next was just a lot of storytelling, and that's half the fun of it. And so now we're just making our way to Surprise Ledge. And this is a river-wide ledge. It's actually, I think it's only 3 or 4 feet tall, but you can see it from the bridge that goes across the river at Hot Springs. And unfortunately for me, you'll see here, I'm not hiding the evidence of my terrible booth, but my battery died about 2 seconds before I went over the ledge. So after a poor showing at Frank Bell's, I would have loved to have caught a good booth off of Surprise Ledge, but that's just not the way it goes some days. You know, what a fun day. We didn't end up running the Nolichucky or the Oconaluftee or the Big Laurel. We settled for the French Broad, and it was lower than we'd intended. But as I watched back over my video, I think my favorite moments from the day were when we recovered from everything going wrong. Um, Frank Bell's, I stuck it out. I stayed underwater for a good bit, rolled up, came up no worse for the wear. Came up, Alan was chuckling. The three folks who we were leading down for their PFD down the rapid all nailed it. They did it better than the rest of us. Pete, fought it out and wrestled with it at the end. And just sitting here listening to the stories at the end ended up being really my favorite part of the day, favorite part of watching the video. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We may have trouble, but we never have trouble having a good time.